stocks up, 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter, when they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one, made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up, I had to get back up. Yeah, I can't say no, you better call back up. I'm running it down to finish, I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big, better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again, I'm ready and 10, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it, I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it, know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it easy.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On the set.
Mike 5-4. Rip left.
Hit it.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Keep it up. Topper.
The give to Taylor. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Brings up second and a yard.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Down. 15 lining. 15 line.
Switch up.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This one out quickly to Westbrook. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find his tight end, Chris Herndon, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Hey, Juicer.
Let's go.
80 weapon.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chris Herndon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goal.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami.
They can't stop you, son.
Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Poole. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills, and he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
53.
Marino sets up. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Christian Wilkins. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They'll give to Martin here out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reversed red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Taken in at the 22. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They go play action with Marino. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Johnson, the intended target. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positive.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Marino will throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They give it to Williams, running right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Herndon's got it complete. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
3rd and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second.
Let's get it.
On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams.
We got to get the ball. D, get the ball right here.
Ready?
He's going to get it running right. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
I got you. He's checking. Crash.
Blue draw forfeit.
55. Hey, eat. You can't block me.
Get it.
On play action, they'll throw. Throw complete to Herndon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. So a big play. Have to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second and very short, Marino under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
On third down, Marino. And that is is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Ready? 10-2, son.
2nd and 11. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey, Alpha.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Ready?
2nd and 14. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, it's Marino. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Marino off of play action. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They run with Taylor. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He'd had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Look at me. Go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchdown. Back.
25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll drop the throw. Forced out to his left. Incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Jets on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12.
Hey, Haywood.
They'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. So now first and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down.
Set to the base.
Line 54. You track.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Martin's got it, complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
At the 15-yard line.
Ready up.
51 the mic, boy. 51. Danny.
Second and 6. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
They'll set up a throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Allen in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Out. Ready.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Josh Allen, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Dolphins on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
The Jets take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Gain of 18 on the play. 1st down.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
54.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Pilot, 64, weak. Smith.
Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. I'm going to run you over.
Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep, and that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently, so that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
6 yards. It's 4th down.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on fourth down? One final shot. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jets, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for